Hi, welcome to Rewind That Back, where I am the host and the creator of this show, Omega. And today we're going to have a full breakdown of WandaVision Episode 8 titled Previously On. And if you have not seen any other episodes of WandaVision, including Episode 8, you might want to get up and leave now because we're about to break this all the way down. And you can't break it down without spoiling it. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. You've been warned.
Okay, on this episode, we actually opened up with Agatha Harkness being escorted by her covenant to the stake. And the year is 1693 in Salem. And yeah, we already know what's about to happen. It's about to get really hot for old girl. I mean, really hot.
Agatha's old.
And Agatha was really smooth with her. Yeah, I'm not evil. And she had me convinced. I was like, wait a minute. This is what's going to make her top over the edge because her covenant didn't believe her. And now that turned her evil. But no, she was evil.
She's lying.
Because as we find out, her mother was like the head of the witches. And she was like, Agatha, really, stop the deceit, man. Stop the lying. Yet I taught you a lot of things, but lying is not one. And you're bad at it. Now, don't get me wrong. I know she didn't say that, but yeah, that's the vibe I got. That, you know what?
Stay focused.
Another movie. And if you're like me and you believe that she was telling the truth, leave it in the comments. Let's see how good her acting is because I really thought Agatha was telling the truth there for a second, but everything changed. And due to the fact that she was good and bad sometimes in the comics, you don't know which way she's going to fall on the spectrum. I think her intentions are okay, but the way she's going about it, it's really messed up. But we see that her mom was really not playing. She was like, no, you got to go. I'm sorry. You got to go. You're my daughter, but you got to go. Which I'm not sure. I think it might have been actually her mother, or it could have been just a mother of the covenant. But there was some emotional bond there because the way the lady looked at Agatha when she was trying to kill her, there was a look of pain. So I'm really going to believe that was actually her mother. And Agatha really was kind of OP in this scene because, yeah, she caught the other witches off guard, just straight drained them dry. And I think that was actually the reason why they were trying to get rid of her in the first place. She tapped into some forbidden magic.
Mephisto?
And they were like, no, wrong magic, wrong, you gotta go. But her magic was actually more powerful than theirs, including her mom. And actually had to take her mom out too, which was like, wow. And the look on their faces, I could have swore we've seen this look before. So yeah, we know what one commercial is. And now we're back at where we left off in the last episode with Wanda trapped in a basement with a present day Agatha. And one of the signs actually looked like Magneto's helmet on the wall. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. Talking about screaming House of M. It was just like M on top of an M on top of an M. I mean, it's like they're saying mutant, Magneto, Mephisto. Like, which M we going with here? And we have Agatha talking to her rabbit Scratch, and the rabbit seemed to be talking back. And I think that rabbit, I think we're right. I think it's either her son, which the rabbit name is Scratch, and her son is Nicholas Scratch. I think it's her son, or this guy.
Mephisto.
I know. Everyone is saying it, but come on. I mean, Mephisto is all over this episode. And we have Agatha taking the time to explain that she have magic, but Wanda have like just like magic just built up on top of magic. I mean, it took Agatha years to try to figure out how to change one little insect to another animal or try to control someone when Wanda just naturally do it. So Agatha is like, I don't know who you are. I felt your magic, but who are you?
Who are you?
Why do you not know anything about magic, but you're just walking magic? Who are you? And then Agatha decided to play a really messed up game with Wanda. Let's see what's behind door number 1. This is your life, Wanda. This is your messed up life. Let's see if we can crack the code. And Wanda's past, wow, it's really messed up. I mean, it's really beat up. And I think Agatha is trying to do some type of therapy, but man, this is a messed up way of doing it. So we go behind door number 1 is actually Wanda's old home with her mother and a father and a young Pietro and actually her as well. And this was a more happier time in her life, even though it was actually a war, like a battle going on outside the house. War zone. These like missiles and guns. But Wanda would just lose herself in her father videos, the old sitcoms. She loved Bewitched and I Love Lucy and the Dick Van Dyke Show. And the first thing we noticed, I know you said it right along with me, her parents are not the same people in the commercials. And then we all thought that the people in the commercials was her parents. So who are the people in the commercial? Who is the man and the woman? Because it's clearly not them. And the feels are all over this scene. I mean, they're just enjoying the sitcoms and they have their own little world outside of a war going on outside. And they're just like one nice, beautiful family. And this was definitely a happier time with Wanda, but I don't know about you guys. But when that bomb blew up the house, I was like, wow. First of all, it shocked me. Second of all, I was like, that's really messed up. I was like, dang, Wanda, you live in the hood. Not just the hood, but you live in the hood. I mean, the type of hood where it ain't no need to even lock in your car because it might get blown up anyway hood. I mean, that's the hood.
Man, that's hood.
And we see the scene that was set up way back in Avengers Ultron where Wanda and Pietro was explaining that, yeah, we had to sit under a bed and watch a missile or either a bomb or whatever you want to call it with Tony Stark's name on it. And it was beeping just like in the previous episodes, the toaster oven was beeping. And that's pretty messed up. You got to sit down in the bed and, you know, they could have got up and, but actually they couldn't get up because the house was in rubble. So you just had to just lay there and look at a missile beeping. Just, you don't know when it's going to go off. That's just stress on top of stress. Whew, I tell you, boy, those hood missiles are something else. But we see Wanda actually using her hands like she do now. And we actually, if you look real closely before the scene is over with, her powers actually are working because she actually stopped the bomb from blowing up. I don't think she realized it because she's so young, but that's what stopped the bomb. That's why the bomb never went off. It wasn't that it was a dud because it was made by Tony Stark, and Tony Stark do not make any duds. Am I right?
Really do.
Stay focused.
Anyway, moving on. So we get the sense that Agatha is really trying to wake Wanda all the way up. She was like, I see who you are, but I need to see who you are. Who are you? And you need to know who you are yourself so I can find out how you did what you did when you created this hex. So let's play another game, and guess what's behind this door? Oh, Strucker's joint. Yeah, good times, good times. And in this scene, we actually see Wanda get up close and personal with an Infinity Stone and unlock the rest of her powers that was dormant. So yeah, we already knew that. This episode was actually a rundown of the history of Wanda and to say, hey, you know, this is how it really went down. And while in the presence of this Infinity Stone, she has to see a future version of herself. I think that's what it is. And it's the Scarlet Witch. It's her in full uniform and all. But I'm really getting the Jean Grey Phoenix vibes here. I mean, you know, Fox had their chance of doing it. But this right here, this giving me that vibe. And I don't know about you, but it was a bad scene. I'm loving it. It was an awesome scene. And we also find out that Wanda has been editing her own videos for years now. I mean, she is the editing queen here. I mean, the professor, the scientist was like, wait, what is going on? I know we saw the light, but we're looking back at the video and there's stuff missing. I mean, who edited this?
Who did this?
And then behind door number 3, the Avengers Compound, we actually see Wanda and she's really hurt. Her brother was killed and she have no one in her life. Her parents gone, now her brother, twin brother at that. And Vision is hanging outside the wall and she sends it and tells Vision to come on in and he's apologizing. But Vision is he's feeling all of this. He is crushed. He has a crush. He have a crush on Wanda. I mean, it's weird that a robot is crushing on a human, but I mean, hey, we have witches too. So we see what really bonds them together is that she's lonely and he's lonely. She had people and lost them. And Vision says, well, I never had anyone. So we're both lonely. So we have two lonely hearts.
Stop singing.
And Vision is kind of goofy, but straight smooth with it. Because the way he just dropped that comfort on her, she was like, hey, Vision, I see you, robot man. And in the meanwhile, Agatha is just like every living other person in the world looking at this like,
awkward.
This is awkward. A robot and a woman. I mean, this is weird. Now, I'm not trying to offend anyone that might have a relationship with a robot.
You just did, man.
I do apologize. And maybe I'm just not in the know. And leave it in the comments. Hey, if you have a relationship with a robot, let us know about it. Tell us how it's going right now. And we have one more door. This is your life, Wanda. Agatha is really just pulling on her because Agatha really want to know what was the tipping point that made you create this hex. I need to know. Agatha thinks she know, but she's not 100% sure, and she just want to see what was that spark. What happened? Is it something that you actually knew how to do, or was it emotions?
Tell me, please.
And behind this door is actually the Sword headquarters, or Sword Compound, or Sword office building, whatever you want to call it. And Wanda is actually, first of all, let's talk about acting director Hayward. Hayward was
trash.
He was wrong. He like I said in the previous video, he's lying more than he's breathing. I don't get it with this guy. He's straight up bad. He might be a scroll. I don't know what's going on with him. He's sneaky and he lies. You just can't trust him. But anyway, he said that Wanda just broke into the compound and stole Vision, which we find out is wrong, is false, is not true, is alternative facts. Lying harder than a person that just got caught cheating.
It wasn't me.
Bruh. And we see on the big screen when she's walking in, and it's kind of messed up. You know, her loved one is dead now. Tony Stark actually received a funeral or a service or whatever you want to call it, and Vision did not, and that's her loved one. I mean, hey, you know, that was her main man, robot man. And she looked on the big screen and everyone is having like celebrations for the return, and it's all in her face, and all she wants is just a closure. And we see her being really respectful. I mean, she's full of grief, but you know, she's trying to actually, you know, be really nice here. And considering the fact that Wanda could just like level the whole building, I mean, really, you're playing with fire. I mean, and what the director did next was like really low. I mean, like having Wanda, just imagine you looking for your loved one or your pet, you know, passed away, and you just want to bury it. You want to have closure, and he actually take you to the window. You look down, and there you see your loved one just chopped up in pieces. I don't care if it is a robot. Just the feels is crazy. Chopped up in different pieces and say, yeah, this is your goodbye right here. So this is all you get right here. Negative. If it was me, I'd be like, I think not, and I'm about to wreck shop. But Wanda was like, you know, she bust the windows out, and she flew down, and she tried to see if she could feel anything from him. She didn't feel anything from him, just like the flashback when she could feel him on the other side of the wall. She was trying her best to feel him, but she just could not feel him. He was like his whatever it was that made Vision was gone, and it was just a husk of a body sitting there in different pieces. And I guess that was her way of beginning to have closure. I'm not 100% sure. Because when she saw that note, that deed that was given to them, and the handwriting that was really human-like handwriting for it to be Vision, it should have been more of a robotic handwriting. But hey, it is what it is. That right there just broke her all the way down. And speaking of broke down and let down, the biggest letdown of the night was to find out that the delivery guy is nothing but a food delivery man. We really thought he was something else, like an important person, because I'm not saying he's not important, but we thought he was like a bad guy or something because he had a lot of talk scenes. But he's nothing but a delivery guy. Like literally, they was telling us the whole while. He's a delivery guy. But back to that beautiful scene with her just using her powers, and the heads just like changing the city over, and the graphics was like just phenomenal, and her creating Vision. that scene right there, just her bent all the way back and just, I don't know, I guess she had wires on her, but that was just crazy, and the way her powers were flowing out, all of her power, like every ounce of her power to create her love. It was like love and grief together. And apparently that's all Agatha had to see. That's all she needed to know. And she saw that it was just straight raw power coming from emotion. And that was all Agatha needed to know. So it was, the next scene was just ready for, okay, this is what we got here. I'm going to be like dangling apples in front of you, but I'm going to dangle your kids in front of you. And Wanda come outside, and really just Agatha is like flying in the air, or hovering in the air, and have her black, the fingertips on Agatha with the purple power going out, and her fingers were black. That was like crazy. Now, I don't know who thought of that, but that was on some another levels. That's some other level stuff right there. And just walking outside and seeing your kids, and they're like on leashes or something, power leash, and you hanging them by the neck. What is going on here? Yeah, that was a tense moment. I'm a dad, so yeah, that was like, wait, hold on. I know they might be fake to us, but to Wanda, they are real. They're her kids. And even though this was a flashback episode, we are still left off with another cliffhanger, and that's just crazy. So hopefully, the next episode, it is what it is. Everything got to come to a head. But it's a lot to have to be explained with one more episode left. I mean, I guess it's going to be longer. I hope it looked like it would be an hour or over an hour, because they have a lot left on the table to actually clear up. And the mid-credit scene is actually a White Vision, which I'm used to a White Vision. I have plenty of comics with White Vision in it. And yeah, this is about to get really interesting. So I guess what could happen is we're gonna have White Vision on the acting director Hayward's side to fight Vision, and Agatha is going to fight Wanda, and we're gonna have magic versus magic, and robot versus magical robot. And the next episode is gonna be wow. But let's not forget that Shuri have a piece of Vision that she took out, and I think that was like the main parts of him, like, you know, that she was able to copy and store somewhere. So you never know. We could have a White Vision with the old Vision's memory and who he is, but we just have to just ride this ride and get there first. So on this next episode, we're all assuming that we're going to have Monica Rambeau, otherwise known as Photon, aka Spectrum, aka Captain Marvel, the old school one. She have her powers. She's learning how to use them, or she need to learn how to use them, but she might be a little bit of help with this end battle. She do have the superhero landing down pack. I mean, it's to the T wherein Deadpool would just straight spaz out, good buddy. So with her powers and kicking in, and she using it, and Wanda against Agatha, it seems like it might be one-sided. I really think it would be crazy for them to try to fill in another villain on the last episode. It could happen. I don't know how we would accept it, but I mean, is Agatha really that powerful? All I know is when Monica eyes turn blue, oh, that's everything. I mean, own everything.
We're losing him again.
That's everything.
Oh, man, stay focused.
Yeah, but that's enough about that. And then we have to find out what guy is Pietro, or Fietro, as Agatha called him. So is it really she couldn't use the Pietro in the MCU because she said he was on another continent and he had his body full of holes, which was like a low blow. You don't tell the sister that, but that's just messed up all the way around. Even though Wanda know it, that's just bad to hear. Is it really Pietro from the Fox universe? I mean, I don't know. Or is it just some guy that she just used and that's who it is? Or is Pietro
Mephisto?
But something crazy might just happen, because I don't think everything will get fixed in this show because they say it leaks over to Doctor Strange. And it's kind of crazy that all this has been happening for like a week, and Doctor Strange is just chilling, looking out the window, looking at his watch, just waiting, buying time. I don't know. What are you waiting for? I don't know. And then we have to find out who is Scratch. Who is the rabbit? Who is the rabbit? Is it Wanda's real baby's daddy?
Mephisto.
Is it Nightmare? Is it Nicholas Scratch? Shoot, all of them are kind of creepy. And what about this guy, Wonder Man? I mean, anyone that know the comics know that Wonder Man, Scarlet Witch, and Vision, it's like a triangle. I mean, it's kind of weird to have two without having that third one. And speaking of Wonder Man, what version are we going to get of him? Because he have a whole lot of outfits. I mean, are we going to get this version or this version or this version? And we still got to see who the engineer is. I mean, they left that open. I mean, don't get me wrong, the actress was nice. I mean, but we were looking for somebody like with powers, I guess, or somebody that's really heavy in the comics. So like Blue Marvel or one of the Fantastic Four. But we got a lot to cover. And who is in the witness protection that who was actually going to check on? So you get that who and who. Was it actually the guy that was stuck in the role of Pietro or Fietro? Or could it be
Mephisto?
And everyone want to know, will Darcy be tardy for the party? Now, if you like this full breakdown and theory bending video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click that bell button so you will be notified every time we drop another video in the future. And remember, if you like it, rewind that joint back and look at it again. This is RTB, and I'm Omega, and we're out.